Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Of all ages, hello.
Welcome to the, what is this, episode 5 of the GM show?
5 or 6?
I don't know.
I think
it's 5. I'm Justin.
I'm Matt.
Welcome. We're the show.
We're here. You're here with us.
Yep, this is it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a couple of guys hanging out.
I know we have some really hardcore listeners out there that are just like, just hanging on every word.
Every single word.
Yep.
You've been keeping up with the news, Justin?
A little bit. A little bit.
So we started this podcast. We're in episode 5 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like pretty much fully indicted back into the news. Before this podcast, I was very much no news, no current events.
It's a good place to be.
It was very nice. And now I get to open my phone up and see China all over it.
Mm-hmm. Can't escape them.
No.
Sometimes I wonder, maybe we shouldn't talk about China so much because the place I work for, like, I forgot what percentage of our business comes from China, so, you know.
Oh, you're supporting Chinese government putting a whole bunch of escalators in their airplanes, in their jets?
The Kone escalator factory in Kunshan, China.
Yeah.
It is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It, like...
Super, like, streamlined or...
Well...
Or, like, super uncoordinated.
It looks really fancy. They pump out, like, 25x what we do.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of...
They got people working round the clock.
It's crazy. You see photos of the inside of the place, and they're just, like, escalators, like, 6 feet apart.
Oh, my God.
And we have, like... You know, we're not building a lot of stuff. So it's just... It's a different type of business, I guess. You know, it's like that Chinese product is cheaper. It's lower duty because they ship it all the way here, right? So it's just lighter. So all the heavy duty, like, stuff that goes into, like, a fucking train station where it sees millions of people every year, we build those ones.
Okay.
So we build the heavy duty shit.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I just did an audit on one today that was, like, fucking... I forgot how long it was, but... It's going in Washington, D.C. area. But
Damn.
It was
How did they
huge.
get them there? Like just a semi or?
Yeah, they basically bolt apart into sections, and then we wrap them up and put them on a semi-truck. It's
okay.
Like, that one would probably be like 4 semis.
Do you ship the treads separately?
The stairs, some of them, yes. Because, well, you imagine it, like, we literally take, like, because there's a chain that drives it, right? So we only put in enough steps to where we can, like, test the thing and stuff. So then it's, like, sectioned out. Then some of the steps are in the thing. Some of them are shipped with it. Okay. And then because there's a lot of it is done on the front line side.
And do you have techs that travel through areas, or they're like
there are branches in every major metropolitan area essentially, and there's just frontline installation teams, and that's the second half of the business, I guess. Yeah, kind of cool.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what I was seeing from China, they brokered some sort of deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Did you hear about that?
I heard a little bit about that.
So for a little bit of history, Iran and Saudi Arabia were both in the area of the birthplace of Islam. And
a little history lesson here for us.
Islam is the religion.
Islam Makhachev is a UFC fighter, bro.
Not him. I think it started like as Islam is the religion. People who follow it are Muslim, and so in the birthplace of Islam was true Mecca.
Yes, that cube.
Yeah, and so that is in Saudi Arabia. The Prophet Muhammad, who led the Islam religion, did not leave behind an heir when he died.
Oh.
So there were two lines of thinking when he died that separated to create two different factions of Muslim. So Shia believed the bloodline of Muhammad should be the next in line to be the prophet.
Okay.
And the Sunni believed that they should choose a successor, ideally somebody who had walked with the prophet, one of his disciples. So this led to religious power and then eventually political power. And so I believe, I didn't write this part down. That's everything I had written down. But I believe Saudi Arabia is Sunni and Iran is Shia. And the Sunni gained the most political power, the most religious power, so they did elect a new prophet or whatever. And then they started being the main religion, so they started getting the political power, and they started making all these laws against like the Sunni people.
Oh, of course.
Or I'm sorry, the Shia people. And so that's why they don't get along. It's a complete religious war.
Insane.
And I didn't see what China did to broker the deal.
Well, I think the thing is they are like, from what I heard on the Breaking Points, which is another great podcast, they're saying like China has like real like clout outside of those two countries, where the United States,
China is closer to both of those countries.
The United States is already kind of what do you want to say, like we have put our hands in so many different pots already and kind of fucked that up, that we have kind of tarnished our reputation with both sides. So neither one of them trust us. Yeah. Where China is coming in, completely from the side, essentially, a real third party, and they're like, and China's trying to like increase their like kind of their social credit score with the world.
Social credit score.
So when shit gets to popping, they have friends out there, because right now they kind of don't.
And then so in the wake of this Iran and Saudi Arabia deal, China is meeting with Russia. Meeting with Putin.
Oh.
I don't know if they've met with whoever's in charge of Ukraine, but it sounds like they're trying to broker a deal there too.
I thought that Ukraine and China had a pretty strong relationship, because China doesn't necessarily grow enough food for its country, and Ukraine is kind of like the breadbasket of Europe.
Oh, really?
And so their number one export I think it was wheat to China even.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean, I would imagine it's probably in their interest
and the Chinese
if
are tied
they buddy
to
up with
potatoes.
if they buddy up with Russia, and Russia's like, hey dude, we'll give you some grain if you help us take this shit.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of probably a give and take there, I'd imagine.
Well, it almost seems like, I believe Russia and China have been seen together multiple times recently, right?
Is that something that is new? Like they've always kind of been at odds, I thought.
Really?
Yeah, that was.
Do they have a big border between each other?
Like back in like Cold War area, they do have they share a large border, but that was always like, God, I can't think of the fucking president's name, but like,
which one?
If I could think of him.
U.S. president.
Yeah, but I can't remember if it was a U.S. president or just some like Secretary of State, where they would say that their worst nightmare is a Russia-China relationship.
Yeah, dude, they're the two biggest countries.
It's our two biggest bully enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. But what else you got?
Well, staying on the topic of China, TikTok just met with I don't know if it's the House of Representatives or the either the House of Representatives or the Senate. I don't know which one it was, but the president or CEO of TikTok went and met in front of one of the houses, and like, I had, in quotes, this is a quote, "Don't believe they are keeping data from China." That's what one of the senators said. And it's like, they can't, how can they, in my opinion, you can never change anybody's mind.
No, you can't.
And that sounds like an opinion to me.
Yeah.
And I believe that the government hates China so much, and this just has China, fingerprints on it. So like bad.
Well, you got to look at it from their point of view. Does China allow a U.S.-run social media corporation to operate inside China?
Exactly. So by banning TikTok,
right?
Who are we mimicking?
Yeah,
China.
So
are we going to become fucking whatever dictatorship or
we gotta
whatever?
Protect our borders, dude.
Communist?
Protect our kids, man.
From what? Their fucking dance moves getting stolen?
Yeah, dude, they're way too hot, bro. It's just way too hot, man. They got fucking sick moves, bro.
Yeah, and something I thought that I believe was followed up by I don't know if it was Breaking Points or 5149.
Oh,
which
James
is,
Lee,
yeah,
fantastic.
Which
YouTube
is,
channel, check him out.
Which is part of Breaking Points as well.
Yep.
But if China wants American data, they will get it, I think.
I think that we should at least not make it super easy for them. Or does it even matter? I don't know.
I don't know what it is that they think that they're getting that they can't get from Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
I wonder
Snapchat.
if there's like some specific instance where it's like the Chinese government like sent some sort of like secret thing that fucking they got through TikTok.
Yeah.
Sent it to some U.S. government official like, bitch, I saw your fucking lame ass TikTok. And the guy's like, fuck that. Banning that shit. Get it out.
It was like a guy doing a skit with his kids or something. He's like, look at this fucking idiot.
They don't even use TikTok in China though, so.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Weird. But everything is kind of TikTok-tized now with all the upright scrolling content.
Dude, and I was doing that first.
Oh, you were?
I was. I have a video of a walkthrough of one of my campers that's upright. And a buddy of mine, shout out to Max, that fucking was a naysayer.
Isn't it just natural? I mean, we're just so used to having a widescreen TV, so we think we need to hold our phone sideways.
Right. And it's like, this thing's in your hand all damn day. Of course, it's going to progress.
It's like the natural...
ergonomics.
Yeah. It's the natural way to record, right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
But shout out to my buddy Max, who fucking naysayed me on it and fucking tried to burn me on it.
That little bitch.
And now it's a thing.
In your face.
But YouTube and Instagram are both have TikTok-esque.
Yeah, I
videos.
think
Shorts,
Facebook even
Reels.
does too, right?
I think they pull
like
them
the
from
store?
Instagram.
Okay. Oh, they're the same shit, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Facebook, they are planting stories as smear campaigns against TikTok. Like,
nice.
I didn't find any specific examples, but that's the only thing that I could see to fear from TikTok is China finding a weakness and then telling TikTok to upvote things that persuade people to do, like a left or a right leaning or something like that.
I don't know. It's like, where are some of these like ideas for the videos coming from? Are they like just random? Like,
that's what I was wondering about the dances. Who's making up these dances?
Or no, I was more like thinking of like I saw I can't remember what podcast it was, but they were talking about some kids doing the blackout challenge where they just hold their breath until they try and all pass out, and then the one that they were showing, this kid was just like clearly breathing. It's like, dude, you're not doing it. But anyway, I don't know. It's just like
I did that when I was a kid.
Oh, well,
where you
I guess that makes
cross
sense.
your arms and like breathe out, and then somebody presses on your chest.
I never heard that.
I never got to pass out from it, but
well, that's too bad.
I could use a few less brain cells. But yeah, and this Tide Pod challenge, maybe that came straight from China, and they're like, let's get all these kids to eat poison, and we'll fuck up everybody.
China is playing the long game, though.
Oh, so long. But they're in an industrial revolution, dude. They're hundreds of years behind us.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe
They're
not
very far back.
Maybe not hundreds, but
a couple of years behind.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's almost the 2030s, so maybe they're about 100 years behind us.
They probably are close, because I know I've listened to some podcasts where they talk about they're fucking like 2 steps away from going back to subsistence farming, because they're just that like frail
on the edge.
Yeah, their systems are.
Well, you've heard about there's a bunch of ghost cities in China.
Oh yeah,
because people think it's like really important. It's a status symbol to own property.
Yep.
So people are buying these super cheap, unfinished apartments. Like there's not even stairs to get up.
I know, like there was like a big real estate boom over there where they were like buying and selling those things, and like the price just kept going up and up and up and up.
And it's like, for what?
Those buildings are falling down.
Yeah. So, and that's something that I feel like I see all the time here is like, why is this inflated?
Didn't you tell me that they have like a whole American city, like like some city they have over there?
No, but that sounds cool.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Like a whole New York City.
Yeah, something like that.
Fucking building for building.
Yes, something like that. I can't remember.
Two towers are still up there.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's where they do movies.
Just to circle back though, the Ukraine and China apparently have built a strong trade relation since 2008, where they sent, what was it, $15.4 billion since 2019. So they do a lot of trade.
Yeah.
Ukraine and China. So I don't know, man.
We do a lot of trade with China, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
the reason we have cheap ass TVs that everybody can afford is because of China.
Exactly. Yes. Just on the Ukraine thing, have you seen this U.S. security cooperation with Ukraine fact sheet on the state.gov website?
No.
It's kind of entertaining.
What's it for?
So this says the United States, our allies, and our partners worldwide are united in support of Ukraine in response to Russia's premeditated, unprovoked, and unjustified war against Ukraine. And then it says, we have not forgotten Russia's earlier aggression in eastern Ukraine. Why am I struggling with Ukraine so much anyway? An occupation following its unlawful seizure of Crimea in 2014. United States affirms its unwavering support for Ukraine's sovereignty, territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders extending to its territorial waters. And basically it goes on saying, we need Ukraine. They have been putting an effort to become more in line with NATO military, and they say that it remains an urgent security assistance priority to provide Ukraine the equipment it needs. All right, and it goes on to say, like, we've provided them like fucking $100 billion, but then just look at this list of where they list out all the just scroll though.
Oh shit. Oh my god. What the fuck? It's still going. So you got everything from...
I saw that this morning. I was like, I almost printed it off, but I was so busy.
Dude, you would have ran out of paper.
Dude, I know. It is...
over 16,000 Stinger anti-aircraft systems. Over 8,500 Javelin anti-armor systems. Over 58,000 other anti-armor systems. That's fucking crazy. 160 howitzers.
When they put it in like that,
yeah,
it's like, holy fuck, that's a lot of shit.
100,000 rounds of tank ammunition.
100,000 rounds of tank ammo.
This one doesn't have a number though. Precision guided rockets.
Oh yeah, there was another one that was like mine equipment.
1 Patriot air defense battery and munitions. Just
one? I think we just agreed to 2 more of those. I just saw that on the news the other day. That must be like a large installation.
Over 150 million rounds of small arms ammunition.
150 million. I wonder if there's a shortage of ammo now because of that.
Dude, I should sell some of mine. Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Isn't that just something?
It's else. Like, okay, so all of those things have a cost of goods, plus getting it there.
Well, that's what... So what led me to that article was I was researching how the United States agreed to send M1A2 Abram tanks to Ukraine, and that was like a big deal. Well, it's like originally
is that like our best shit or something?
That is what we use.
Okay.
All right. So we agreed to build them brand new.
Agreed. Are we getting paid for any of this?
I don't know. I don't know how this works. I think it's like one of those things where Ukraine is just be in debt forever to us.
Which, aren't we in super debt?
Oh, yeah.
We'll transfer all of Ukraine's debt to China.
Right. But we have the petrodollar, though. So until that stops, it doesn't matter, right?
I mean, China's making some money moves, dude.
Yeah. I mean, until everybody starts buying oil in yen.
Yeah. Which I heard the dollar is backed by petrol.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in lieu of gold.
Right.
It was originally gold standard. Now it's oil standard.
Essentially. Well, yeah, it's just like some agreement where everybody agrees to use the U.S. dollar to buy oil. I don't know.
Yeah.
But on the M1 Abram tank thing, so it's like normally what they do is like we've built like fucking 8,000 of these M1A1 Abrams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what we've been doing for our military is we refurbish the whole to an M1A2.
Okay.
So with what I didn't understand with this Ukraine thing, originally they agreed to build brand new from scratch ones, which takes a long ass time. But then just recently, so they didn't even have a timeline originally. It could have been 2 years before they saw those tanks. Yeah. So it's like they just think we're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting with Russia for this long, essentially.
That's crazy.
But then, just this past week,
which wouldn't you really want them as soon as possible?
So they're changing them now to where they're going to send them refurbished ones, like we use, and supposedly they're going to be there by the fall of this year.
What if we just took all of our military and gave it to Ukraine, and then Russia and China attacked us?
Well, that's the thing. We only gave them 31 tanks, and we have
60 million.
We have literally 1,500 combat-ready ones,
That's
just
crazy.
standing by, which is just and then they have another 2,000 or 3,000 sitting, waiting to be refurbished into new ones. But they're talking about how those fucking things use 2 gallons of fuel per mile. So it's there's going to be a line of fuel trucks behind those things. Mm-hmm. All the supply chain that has to be set up to maintain those things, from our day in the aerospace world, what it's like to supply chain, all the woes that that shit's happening worldwide. Yeah. The shortages on everything.
A chain is only as good as its weakest link.
And so it's it's just insane, all the shit that we're setting up.
Because now China brokered a deal with Iran and Saudi Arabia. So if Ukraine doesn't broker a deal with China and Russia, China's going to turn around and be like, hey, don't sell these fuckers oil.
Hey, you never know. I don't know if China is producing any oil, though.
Well, China's in the back pocket of Saudi Arabia.
I see. That's 3D chess you're playing there, buddy.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. And then you have the whole Taiwan thing. So it's we're about to go to fucking war for Taiwan.
Why?
Well, it's a long, long history.
Is Taiwan an island? Yeah.
It's 100 miles off the coast of China.
We want to put nukes on it.
Yeah, essentially. But it Taiwan's history, it's the people, there was a tribe that has inhabited that island for a long time, and they have essentially been under the control of I think back in I don't know what the fuck it was, the 1300s or whatever. It was the Dutch it was a Dutch colony, and then fucking there was a Chinese revolution. These Chinese people left the Chinese mainland. It was the New Republic of China, and then the old People's Republic of China. People left there, kicked the Dutch out. There was a bunch of history, and now it's still the People's Republic of China. After World War II, there's one sentence in this treaty that says all old fucking territories of China are going to be returned to one. There's only one China, is what their view. And I was just listening to a video about it earlier today. They have all kinds of quotes from these Chinese officials saying they're it's only a matter of time. It's historically inevitable that Taiwan will become a part of China again. So it's just
that's crazy.
It's only a matter of time until we go to war.
It's crazy how these big governments made up of just a few people can control the lives of so many.
It's kind of insane, like how the thread of history, like past fucking circumstances, like I'm sure now if you ask the people of China if they give a fuck about Taiwan being in there, I'm sure it's like a very split, but it's like how many people in their day-to-day lives give any fuck if Taiwan is a part of China?
Yeah.
It's got to be like some sort of a pride. Well, really, they were saying that China was kind of like being made fun of, like in that World War II era, and they want to like reclaim, their former glory because they were essentially the peak of civilization.
Yeah. Asians are all about like family and pride and looking good.
That's what
like
I was
their
just
whole, like,
on the way
foundation.
over here. I was just thinking about like how it's like infinitely fucking like fascinating how like cultural, like familial like interactions, how that like basically layers and layers and layers over history to build up the culture of a country and how they operate, and like it's like a mindset essentially, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, makes you realize once you zoom out, like maybe we are just fucking ants.
Yeah.
And like Sam Harris says, dude, it's an illusion.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's kind of I believe that there's some sort of higher power, some sort of interconnecting energy for us all that is something along the lines of love and like luck and some sort of hive mind almost.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People are the same all over the place.
Yes, it's one solid entity, man. We're all just sharing it.
But anyways,
all right, what else we got?
Did you hear about this Gavin? We had been talking about the Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I tried to anyway.
So Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Just a little history on Gavin Newsom. He had a bunch of private gatherings during COVID restrictions.
Oh, he was that guy.
Yeah.
Wait, he's where's he from?
California.
Oh, that fucker. Okay. All right.
So he had money in the Silicon Valley Bank. He had money from 3 of his wine companies. And then the Silicon Valley Bank president sits on the board of one of his charities. And this is exactly the shit that I was telling you about, that TV show Ozark.
Oh yeah.
This is literally the shit that happens
dude.
in that fucking show. He has also stepped in to urge the president to bail out the banks, putting out a statement. He is in close touch with the Treasury Department and the White House. He said that.
Yeah, there was like multiple instances of proof where like they had like a dinner that weekend, like fucking Nancy Pelosi or somebody else came by, and they were just like, it's like, why the fuck are you guys hanging out with these bank executives? And then magically over the weekend, somebody made a call to Biden and said the right things to him, and then whoop, fucking magic.
Yeah, it's just so funny how government elites just fucking step right in to help each other, but like the money gap is just still continuously getting further and further separated.
It really makes you wonder who the government serves. Right? It's obviously they serve the wealthy.
They serve themselves.
It's it's blatantly obvious, and it's the wealthy helping themselves because they're the ones fucking spending the money to get the people elected, essentially choosing the fucking puppet they want.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. What's crazy now, it's like I feel like a lot of people are aware of it now, where maybe, I don't know, what do you want to say, 15, 20 years ago, maybe people weren't, it wasn't so obvious in the front of your mind.
Yeah, I believe it all has to do with Epstein's murder. That was when they were like, this guy's got to go. Do it in plain sight. I don't care how do it fast. I don't care how you do it. And then now they're like, well, that worked, so let's do all this other shit.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Did Epstein die before COVID? Was that before COVID?
Let's look it up.
Oh fuck!
I don't have my phone on me.
Oh.
You look it up.
Yeah, Yes. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Fucking, it's just becoming more and more obvious. Like, people are doing, like, getting money out of politics, I think, is becoming more. It's August 10th, 2019. So, yes.
So it was
pre-COVID.
Before COVID.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also in California news, not that we live there or anything, San Francisco has started talks of slavery reparations.
I think it's a good idea.
I think so too. I would go about it a different way, but let me tell you how they're going about it. They want to give $5 million to every descendant of slaves that lived in the city over 250 years.
What the fuck?
That I wrote that. I obviously typed that down wrong. Eligibility, they must be 18. They must have identified as black on at least one public document in the past 10 years. They had to have been born in the city between 1940 and 1996 and lived in San Francisco for at least 13 years.
It's like oddly specific.
Yeah. And be someone or the direct descendant of someone. And this, I heard that it was somebody incarcerated during the war on drugs. But I don't know if that's like between slavery and the war on drugs. You have to be a direct descendant of somebody in either one. But the Census Bureau in 2020 said that there are 44,000 black people in San Francisco, minus anybody who is a transplant, and then minus people who moved away for too long.
Ridiculous.
So it's like, I don't know. It's a good idea. I wouldn't go about it this way, but this is a small government. If I was going to do it, it would have to be federal government.
It's just like, I don't know. It's a little bit of wokeism.
I don't know. I think it should be done. But what I would do is I would let all people descending from slavery not have to pay taxes for 5 years. That'd be quite a bit of money.
That would be a lot. I don't know.
I think that's what the government can do.
I think it would be way more beneficial to like try to like go back and try to like help the war on drugs, like help there first, because I think if you were to like,
there's probably still people in jail from that. Right?
That's what I mean, right? First,
Yeah.
like right those wrongs, because you still got people locked up for bullshit, and then like those families where you took those fathers away, like those communities, those are like where you really need to be paying attention. Like the reparations thing, that shit. I mean, obviously that thread of history pushed people in certain directions, right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to live in certain areas and all that jazz. But
people weren't allowing them to live in certain areas.
But the people living today, I would imagine, don't feel that pain as much as the pain from the war on drugs, I'd imagine. Because that is just like, it's still fucking the problem today.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let's not, it's almost like a fucking, like a sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too fucking pro legalizing all drugs since I read that one fucking Dr. Carl Hart book.
What was that one?
Drug use for adults, responsible drug use for adults. He's like, I can't remember what. I think he was a doctor. I don't know what kind of doctor, but might have been just a university professor. But he's like famous for giving a lecture on addiction, or maybe it was withdrawal. One of those two, while withdrawing from heroin. Because he was like trying to prove, like basically like heroin's pretty good and you can use drugs responsibly. It's just you have to give people kind of more structure, and obviously some people need a lot more structure than others, right?
Yeah.
But and I don't know, heroin's addicting, so
yeah, heroin's like really addictive.
It's like it's probably not best to be making that available everywhere. But
dude, I think if people could smoke weed all over and maybe do some mushrooms, those are two things that come straight from the earth.
I'm 100% in agreement. Yeah, I think that would change the world.
Yeah, I think if people could do those, they would be satisfied.
Oh yeah, it would. I mean, it's slowly making a fucking shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's taking too long.
Well, the government over a weekend can promise banks, $5 billion or whatever, but they can't. Like,
I saw an article that was like juxtaposing the SVB bank bailout and then like student loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
What's more important was basically the title, the headline of the article.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, touche. Touche.
I had heard that like Harvard or Yale or somebody, one of those like super elite colleges, I think when you go there, you have to promise to pay money afterwards or something like that.
What?
Like there's a term for it. Look it up.
Okay, it's like a
paying money to a college after you graduate.
It's sort of like a booster club.
Yeah,
kind of.
So I believe one of those college elite schools are pulling in like $500 million a year or something.
Yeah, you're talking about like their like fund, right?
Yeah, it's something along like they are earning themselves off the money they already have or are getting from past alumni. Like they're earning $30 billion or something. And the cost to run their college is like $2 billion.
Right.
And then they're still on top of that costing such an outrageous amount to go to the school. Plus any sort of like palms you gotta grease to get in there, So they're like, it's just like money stacking on money, stacking on money. Money begets money.
Yeah, that's exact. It's really a fucked up system. You just have to look at like the increases in the cost of tuition.
Yeah,
it's just fucking bananas. Like make it make sense.
Yeah, like bigger colleges should have to fund local colleges to let people go.
They need to have like they just need to make education more available to fucking people that can't afford it.
Yeah.
Essentially. Which I mean, I know that dilutes the degrees.
People who go to school are only going to learn as much as they want.
Yeah, I think so.
Whether you're smart or rich or not.
Yeah, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of people that we probably both know with degrees that know less than your average guy working in a fucking machine shop.
Yeah. And, dude, guys that work at machine shops, they are poor smart.
Exactly.
Guys that can fix a car.
People who can fabricate.
Yeah.
It's a different... Yeah, it's like a poor smart. It's like that fucking TikTok video that people always send around where it's like, you're poor, you got to know how to make... You have to have skills or some shit to make it cool. And it's like, that's like exactly what it is. Oh, my leg just cramped up. Oh, that's not good.
Cramps?
I'm getting old, dude. I was sick this fucking past week and fucking coughing a lot, pulled a muscle in my back. My fucking back hurts. I'm like, oh god, how old am I, dude?
pull the muscle coughing.
Well, like
grandpa.
It was like the muscles in between your ribs, the intercostals, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, ow.
Dude, I got to tell you about this story from Facebook Marketplace. We saw each other on Friday, and I wanted to tell you, but I wanted to get it recording. It's actually on the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast if you haven't heard it yet. Shout out to Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast. Me and Justin, I'm always on there. Justin's going to be on it next week for
AI.
Yeah.
Yes.
You watched that movie yet?
No, I haven't. We're going to watch it. Me and Lauren are going to watch it tomorrow. She has tomorrow off.
I'm also going to watch Jexy.
I've never heard of that.
It's with one of the guys from Workaholics.
Okay.
The really normal looking dude who's also from that singing movie. I don't know his name. Even if you said it, I wouldn't know.
Really normal looking guy, though. I mean,
not the guy with the big hair, or not the tall guy.
Oh, okay. That's the guy I thought you were talking about.
Okay.
The short guy is the one that's fucking goofy looking, I thought. He's fucking funny, though.
So I'm looking for a new computer for recording the podcast.
Right.
I have the criteria that I want. I find one on Marketplace.
Oh, right on.
So I hit the guy up. He never responds until like a couple of days later.
Piece of shit.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to take a look at this on Friday. And he's like, okay, meet me at the dollar store in Rock Island on 11th Street.
Ooh, sketch.
Yes. So I go there, and I wait 15, 30 minutes, message him twice, and he's like, oh, I'll be there in a minute. Oh, my kid fell off his bike. I got to take him to the hospital.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, okay. And so we go home, and the guy's like, hey, I can bring that to you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the first excuse was, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you. I had to buy a new phone. So the guy has to buy a new phone, take his kid to the hospital. We're at home at the end of the day. Hey, I can bring that computer to you if you want to look at it. And I'm like, sure, here's my address.
Ooh, sketch.
Yeah, I'm a straight white man, so I've never had a problem with giving people.
I have nothing to fear.
Yeah, never had a problem giving people my address until now. So I'm waiting. Me and the wife and the boy are watching a movie. I can see out the front window. Nobody shows up. And then he texts me in the morning. He's like, hey, I have to apologize. I wasn't able to make it. And I was like, okay. And he's like, do you have time tomorrow?
Jeez.
And I'm like, I can meet you at 4:30 at the dollar store, or whatever it is. Get there. Message him 15 minutes later. He takes another 10 minutes to message me. And he's like, I had to buy a new car.
Jeez, what an unlucky fellow.
I had to buy a new car. Or I'm buying a new car. So I'll be there in 3 minutes. And 3 minutes rolls by. He's already 33 minutes late. And I take off. And he's like, hey, I'm coming right now. And I'm like, I left. And he's like, okay, I can bring it to you. I was like, I'm not going to be home for a while. And then, so now this guy knows my address.
Knows you're
I'm
not going to be home for a while. Oh, my
God. And so I'm sweating bullets.
Fuck yeah.
And we drive home. I'm like, I'll meet you at the Dollar Tree. I'll meet you at the Dollar Tree. And so we go by he doesn't read his messages. And we go by the dollar store, and he's not there. I call my sister who lives on my block. I call a bunch of other neighbors. I'm like, is there a weird car outside of my house? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, oh, my God. One of my neighbors was like, he's still in the car. Do you want me to do anything? I'm like, no. So I'm like, get this fucking weirdo away from me. And so we pull up, and I walk up to his – we pull up on the street, so he didn't pull into my driveway. And I walk up to his car and pin his door closed and tell him to roll down the window. And I'm like, hey, I don't want your computer. Good luck selling it. That's it. And he's like trying to get out, and I'm like, just take off, man. You kind of blew it. And he looks like super surprised. Like he didn't just fucking put me through the ringer
Jesus.
on fucking driving everywhere.
No kidding.
And he drives away, and about like 10 minutes later, he fucking sends me a message. He's like, fucking weirdo. And I was like, I wanted to fucking rip into him. I was like, this
fucking
guy's
weirdo,
not
man.
worth my time. I'm pretty sure he looked strung out. He smelled drunk. And it's just like, his car didn't look very new.
Dude, you could have got a banging deal on a fucking laptop, though.
I could have, dude.
You think it would have been worth it?
Not for another second to deal with that guy.
That's funny. I also had a weird fucking Facebook Marketplace encounter.
Encounter of the market kind.
Well, I sold Lauren's that fucking piece of shit Saturn.
Yeah.
Right? And this fucking guy comes to check it out. And he's like, I clearly listed it as a manual in the in the fucking ad. He gets in there, get the battery in, because I posted it with no battery. I didn't even know if it would start, essentially. 600, I posted for 800, and the guy offered 600. I was like, bring a battery. If it starts, fucking, I'll take 600 for it. Comes, he's like, oh, I didn't know it was a manual. It's like saying he's going to buy it for his girlfriend because he's sitting there trying to start it and it wouldn't start. And I'm like, come on, you got to push the clutch in, guy. And then he fucking gets it going, and then
he got it going, or
he just started it because I told him to fucking take it for a test drive, essentially. And the parking brake was locked up, and so he drives all the way down to the corner, like, you know, my street, and then how it bends at the end.
Yeah.
He drove all the way to there with the fucking tire locked up on one side. And I was like sitting there trying to chase after him, and the fucking guy he rode with there, he's like, that dude's a fucking idiot. He's like, he's a fucking idiot. He's like, I'm sorry. But then, so we're getting, like, I'm fucking helping the guy put the front bumper in the back of the car. Because the front... What?
And he left the license plates on?
Yeah.
Dude, I bet this was that guy. He had a front bumper to a blue car.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm fucking serious.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. I didn't look at the front. Was he, like, skinny, like, reddish blonde hair?
Kinda, yeah, dude. I have a picture of his license. I'll fucking show it to you. But that would be insane if it was.
Do you remember his Facebook profile at all?
Oh yeah, I have it.
It was just the profile picture was just him holding a fish.
Well, it is the same dude. No fucking way, dude.
That's so funny.
What threw me off was the guy's after the fact. The guy's Facebook name is different than
his real name,
his address, or than his ID. That's fucking get the fuck out of here. So that was Lawrence.
That's for sure the guy,
dude. No way.
That's driving Lauren's car.
That's fucking. I'm actually extremely surprised that car is still driving. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the bumper was still in the back seat. I noticed it as I was walking by.
No way, dude. That's hilarious. What are the odds of that?
100%, dude.
Well, it was crazy that he fucking showed right the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, he was
buying a new car.
It wasn't the same day.
But so it's
how long ago was that?
I can fucking go back to my text message or my Facebook Marketplace right now.
And I'm like, dude's buying a new phone, taking his kid to the hospital, buying a new car. He doesn't want $500 for a computer.
Dude.
Like, I would be on that.
That's awesome. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah, well, calling you out.
Well, that's not his real name, right?
No, it's not. So this was on March 19th. He came and picked the car up.
Dude, that's what date was what?
What day of the week is that?
I'm trying to pull it up here.
It's last Sunday.
Dude, that was the guy. He was buying your car.
So he came and bought my car
from fucking across town. He knew where he had to be with me across town. That was the guy.
Dude, what the fuck are the odds of that? So, dude, what was really weird about it, so the other thing that was fucking weird, license name didn't match up, Facebook name, and then we're sitting here loading the fucking shit up in the back of the car. That's crazy. He pulls out this fucking thing called a Flipper Zero.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sure a lot of people don't know what a Flipper Zero is.
I'm one of those people.
It's a small little handheld device. It's like white and orange. It looks harmless. But you can use it to copy like RFID badges, like so it can like the badge that we would use to get into work.
Okay.
So you could copy that and then use that to copy the signal. You can use it to copy on car, like on your normal car fob.
Yeah.
There's something called
because new cars only have fobs now, right?
Well, yeah, new cars do too, but even older cars with like just an unlock fob, there's like something called a rolling code. So it's like there's essentially like 5 or 6 codes that this thing is going to cycle through, and somehow this device is able to pick up the last code that you used. Mm-hmm. So then it knows the next code or one of the next 5 codes that you're going to use that your car is expecting. So he can come and unlock your Tesla and fucking take it off, or any other lots of other cars. So it's just, I mean, I didn't know necessarily all of the capability of the thing. I posted on the Reddit site for the Flipper, and asking, basically I was like, can this thing actually do anything, essentially? And one of the guys was saying, like, if you had some devices on your Wi-Fi network, potentially he could have done something called a marauder attack on your fucking Wi-Fi. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
It sounds like not beneficial to a normal person.
No, it's definitely something that you, and he tried to play it off. I was like, oh, hey, that's one of those things. And he's like, yeah, you can play games on it. I'm like, yeah, I know you can play.
You can play games?
You can, like, the old Snake, and people put, like, Doom.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of cool.
Rad.
The
he used to be able to put that on an old TI-90.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that, I think. But he tried to play dumb, saying that...
Why were you pulling it out? You trying to play video games on the way home? Or?
I thought maybe he was trying to copy my fucking debit card. Because you can copy if you have a chip in your debit card, it can get that signal. But apparently, it can't really do that. It can't do anything with it unless you have the other security numbers. And then the other guy on Reddit said that there's like some sort of like I/O input outputs on the side of the device where you can like put pin in like a big ass antenna.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I was getting a little animated with my arm. But you can put a big antenna on the device, so then you can extend the range, so to speak. Oh, now you want to turn me down, huh?
Yeah, you're getting a little too poppy.
Sorry.
That's crazy that he would just flip that, take that out.
Weird,
It's
right?
like, even if he's playing games on it, you're in the middle of a transaction. Though, at this point, he seems like that kind of guy.
He's a fucking shady... Seems like a shady fella.
Shady dude.
Weird, man.
Glad he didn't get my $500. That computer would have just melted.
Well, your $500 would have turned into my $500. How about that?
Yeah, I almost bought your car.
He probably bought that car because he was like, man, I'm about to get this $500, man. He went and bought the car, and he's like, bet, dude, I'm about to get this $500. Bet. I'm at the dude's house. Oh, fuck.
Dude,
fucking weirdo.
He was waiting there for probably an hour and a half.
That is so fucking funny.
It's so nuts.
Dude.
I don't give my address out now.
Yeah, don't do that. Ever. No. And what was fucked up, the guy came to my house because I couldn't move the car. So he has both of our addresses.
That's funny.
Well, now we know.
Let's do the book really quick. We spent a lot of time goofing off, and Chapter 9 is super long, so we're just going to do Chapter 8. It'll be really quick. If you're new to the podcast, Justin and Matt show, we are reading out of Don't Believe Everything You Think. I just have a couple of things highlighted in here. We're on Chapter 8, How Can We Possibly Thrive in the World Without Thinking? At the top of every chapter is a quote. This one is, anxiety is thought without control. Flow is control without thought. James Clear.
Ooh. James Clear. That's the guy who is the author of Atomic Habits.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
That's a good book.
The dude, he's got a email newsletter that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, you follow it?
321.
321.
Comes out every Thursday. It's pretty good. It's like super short. It's just like, I forgot what it is. Like 3 quotes by others, 2 ideas, and 1 question. What
was the last question you remember?
Fuck, I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. We're doing the book.
Okay.
Here's a question. What thoughts are going through your head when you're doing your absolute best work, where you're fully captivated and entranced by what you're doing in the moment?
I was fully entranced in flow there. I just got I had to get Lauren's car towed before I got here.
What?
So
is that Kirk's old car?
Yeah. So, dude, I haven't had nothing but problems with that thing since I bought it. The brakes went out on it. Lauren slid in the back of somebody, partially, probably, maybe not her fault, but. And then last week, the day the guy came over, or actually her car 2 days before that, the oil cooler line fell down in front of. So it's like. It's just a metal line fucking piped up in front of the radiator to cool the power steering oil or fluid, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, no.
And so this pipe falls down. Lauren calls me on her way to work. She's like, yeah, there's like some like thing fell down off my car. I don't know what it was. I drove over it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Drove over
and
it?
she's like, yeah, it's like, I think it fell off, but I don't know what it was. And then
Everything
that
is a car needs to be on it.
she's like, the power steering went out too. And I was like, oh my God. So then I freaking get the car. It's like the hose had been dragging on the ground. And she wanted me to like electrical tape the hose up like around it. So it's a high pressure system. So it just would have. So I put fluid in it because I didn't know exactly where it was going to be leaking. It dumped the whole thing of power steering fluid out within seconds. Flushed that baby. So then I looked to see how much that part is. $165. I'm like, man, that's expensive. I find
Dude, that's why I haven't fixed my bumper.
I'm gonna fix that bumper for you someday. But so I found a universal transmission. Not transmission. It was a power steering cooler because it was meant for high pressure. $20 at
nice.
O'Reilly's.
That's what's up.
Used? No, it was brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got out of there for like $36. I bought some extra hose clamps and some like barb fittings to go hose to hose.
Mm-hmm. Hose to hose, baby.
And then I sent you that photo saying, hey, how long do you think this is going to take? And you're like, fuck it, 2 days. Which most things probably would.
Yeah.
But that was actually pretty simple. And I managed to get it done in 2 hours. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But then Lauren's driving to work today. Fucking, she's like, yeah, there's like the battery symbols on. And she's like, and then she calls me 10 minutes later. Yeah, my car's dead and I'm sitting in the middle of an intersection. So then I fucking leave work at like 2:15, 2:30.
You should have been like, well, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, no kidding. Drive over there. Luckily, I mean, nobody had stopped. Somebody almost was on 12th Street. Was that
Davenport?
in Moline?
12th Street.
It's like I'm trying to think.
By the big church? 12th Street and like 18th Street?
Like, God, I don't fucking know.
Top of the hill or bottom of the hill?
Top of the hill.
Top of the hill.
Near
Near Rascals?
Rascals. What the fuck is
There's-
Rascals at?
Rascals is on 16th Street, but there's a bridge that goes over it. Crosstown.
No.
Was it Crosstown?
Yeah, it's Crosstown. It's 12th Avenue. Okay. And then
Probably like 5th Street?
oh, here we go. And 27th Street.
27th Street. Okay.
Yes.
So you were closer to Kirk's house than mine.
Yep. So her car was just sitting there in the intersection for like
She can't
10
push
minutes.
it in neutral?
Apparently not.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was just curious.
No, but there wasn't anywhere to push it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, I mean, it was really, there's fucking nowhere to park on the
And
side
then
of
you
the
hooked
road.
a chain up to the A-bar.
And pulled that bitch. No, I just pushed it out of the road. And then some guy came and towed it. But battery's just dead.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
That's a
but
$100 fix.
alternator probably bad though. So, yeah.
That's a $300 fix.
Unless I can find a used one, baby.
You've been pretty good at that
Yeah,
lately.
I know. But yeah, anyway, what were we talking about?
What thoughts are going through your head when you're doing your absolute best work, when you're fully captivated and entranced by what you're doing in the moment?
Yeah, that flow state, dude. You're not really thinking.
I find myself not, or like it's like you're thinking so well. The gears are just turning.
It's just so smooth you don't notice.
Yeah, I do a little bit of art. I did the art for our podcast, a little
Nice.
jelly sandwich,
Yes.
jam
Very
sandwich.
Well done. Very well done.
And it's, dude, when I start doing the art, it's just like an hour will roll by. Sometimes that's the way my work feels too.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. No, flow state. That's a real thing, man.
Yeah. Is that in a book that we
Yeah,
have?
it's called Flow, by
okay.
Mihai Csikszentmihalyi.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to check that out.
I think I've listened to it once before. It's pretty good.
In Japanese culture, they have a beautiful word that describes this phenomenon called mushin. Mushin is achieved when the mind is free of random thoughts, free of anger, free of fear, and particularly free of ego. It applies during combat and other facets of life. Mushin.
You become the Mushin.
I was gonna say. So that's chapter 8.
What a great chapter.
We had a lot of good stuff to talk about in the news. There's some more stuff you want to talk about.
I'm game. I mean, what do you got?
There's this new Illinois law that's trying to get passed about libraries. You hear about this?
No.
Library cannot ban books or they will lose the ability to apply for grants.
Cannot ban books.
So I think this is in the wake of all this. I want to call it woke, but it's like the opposite of woke.
It's anti-woke.
Eyes wide shut.
They want to like take all
anything that has to do with gay or slavery or trans out of everywhere. And Ron DeSantis, who's going to be running against Trump.
He hasn't come out yet, allegedly.
He hasn't come out of the closet yet. Yeah. Dude's gay as fuck. Ron DeSantis, the Republican, trying to get books banned and changing school curriculum. Have I sent you this guy, Palmer Trolls?
Palmer Trolls? No.
He's a comedian, and his whole bit is trolling people. So he took out a billboard in Florida that says something along the lines of Ron DeSantis has a new book coming out called African Culture. and then the billboard company wouldn't put it up unless he had a paid for by like label on it. So he bought the domain Republicans Against DeSantis and put that on the billboard. And when you go to that site, it says fuck DeSantis. I don't know. But
that's sweet.
All this guy does is troll on people.
What a blessing to the world.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I'll have to send you a couple of them.
That's hilarious. Yes.
Palmer Trolls on Instagram.
Check him out.
But yeah, Ron DeSantis is trying to like.
It's Ron DeSantis.
Just
so you know.
Okay, thanks. It is an I. I mean, it is an I.
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
but he's trying to pull a bunch of like slavery information out of history classes and African culture classes, and it's like the dude isn't a history major.
He's just trying to whitewash it all.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't know what else you call it.
What is his motive?
To please all these moms that don't want their children's feelings to get hurt when they're white and in a class and saying that their ancestors owned other people.
I'm trying to think of like how I felt about it back then. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I felt like it sucked.
Good thing that wasn't me.
Yeah,
it wasn't us, right?
Good thing our family was on the right side of it. But yeah, it's
Northern Yankees, bro.
It's true. Like, my family never had a slave.
Right. I would guarantee my family was never wealthy enough to own anybody.
Yeah. I can follow some of my lineage from the homeland.
What a weird. It's crazy to think that a lot of people would still have it that way if they could.
Dude, so crazy. Dude, what I don't understand is people who fly the fucking
Confederate
flag. Dude's like, those are losers.
Yes,
you're a fucking loser.
I mean, the only time I think you could get away with it is if you were like literally from the South, because that was like, I don't know, like they actually have some claim to it down there.
I don't know.
Being up here, I don't know.
I don't like when guys fly a full-size flag in their truck at all. I don't care if it's I almost don't care if it's an LGB flag. Don't fly a full flag in your truck. That's stupid.
You're blocking my view.
Well, it's like if I was going to go at it any particular way, if you're going 60 miles an hour, it's going to ruin that flag, and you're not treating that flag with respect.
Ooh,
that's what I think.
I wasn't thinking about it that way.
At the very least, that's
you only have to respect the American flag. All the other ones.
These colors don't run, baby.
You can shit on all the other flags, I think.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking virtue signaling that you're a fucking racist.
Yeah,
essentially,
it's not anything to be proud of. I don't think
I don't know.
I used to fly an American flag. Now I fly a peace flag. It's like teal with like a black peace sign, and I'm like, I think we got it in an estate sale.
Nice.
And my wife wants to fly a different flag, and I'm like, if you buy that flag, do it. It's like I don't care that much about anything. Which maybe is like the opposite.
It's part of the problem.
Yeah. It's also
you need to have stronger opinions about things you don't understand.
I wear this pin on one of my vests, and it's a LGB flag, and it's got a AR on it, and it says
nice.
Like fight for equality or something. It's like, I'll incite violence if you hurt somebody from like a minority, I think.
Right. Well, also like don't ban ARs because they're not assault rifles. But someone was telling me at work today there was a fucking shooting at like some private school.
Really?
Yeah, some chick, 28-year-old woman, which is like
28-year-old,
super rare for women to.
It was at a private school, like a
and like
a college?
No, like a little kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was. I mean, I didn't even click on the fucking headline. The headline that I clicked on was there was some fucking Trump rally, and Ted Nugent.
Oh God.
Was fucking speaking at it and
saying. For those who don't know, Ted Nugent in his performances puts up like a Barack Obama person, like one of those cardboard things, and shoots flaming arrows out of a crossbow at it. That's what he does.
Fucking madman. But he was saying, which I don't disagree with him. He's saying like we shouldn't be sending aid to Ukraine, which I agree with.
I agree with that.
But he was calling Zelensky he's like, we don't want to help this homosexual. He's like, this homosexual weirdo is what he called him.
Zelensky?
Yeah. No. Oh. Ted Nugent called Zelensky
yeah.
this. Yes. Like, it's like, I don't know. The guy doesn't give off gay vibes, does he? Like, I've only heard him talk a few times, but I thought that was really
also
weird.
Why is that? Like, if he's gay, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know, dude. I think it just shows more about how fucking old Ted Nugent is.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fucking. I wish we could play the audio clip. It is hilarious.
Well, I did get a new computer. Not from that
so
guy.
What you're saying is we're gonna have sound clips.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have something like that in the future.
We're gonna have a fucking cough button.
No, not that.
Oh, okay. Oh shit! Damn. That Matt just has to go in and manually edit all those out.
It's so bad.
That's sweet.
I have been so dehydrated lately this like whole weekend.
Me too. I have been drinking nothing but coffee, and
yes,
I've been getting muscle cramps and shit. Like my fucking leg there was just cramping up.
Yeah,
but no.
So there's like one pinpoint on the back of my throat that's like just so raw that just like tickles.
Oh, that's no good. That is no good. Fuck, I can't believe that we had an encounter with the same fucking weirdo, man. What are the odds of that?
100%, dude.
Obviously.
100%.
It's this is that reality.
I started watching this YouTube video series of these two guys playing roulette.
All right.
And it's like an Asian guy and a white guy. The white guy is so funny. And they just like they have like a Patreon or something, and people send in their foolproof roulette strategies, which roulette is 100% luck.
That's the one where they just like spinny table
with a ball. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 100% luck. It's like a 49% or a 51% favor for the house, and there's no foolproof method for it. But the guy, he's like a 50-year-old college surfer dude. And he's just like, dude, you know what I mean? Dude. I just love listening to him talk. And, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what I've been watching a lot of on YouTube?
What's that?
Channel called, two of them, Lost Cause Ranch.
Okay.
Which is all about rebuilding Land Rovers.
Oh, God.
And then this other guy, Dirt Lifestyle, where he builds, like, off-road vehicles.
Yeah.
But he took the Land Rover that I have, but put 1-ton axles under it.
Damn.
From a truck, which I would never need, but because he's got like 37 or 40-inch tires on it.
Damn.
He actually fucking off-roads it. But I don't know. I've been thinking about, doing some work on the old.
Should we talk about? Should we stop talking about your Land Rover that you're actually going to sell instead of?
I don't. I'm
else?
thinking I might keep it. I want to keep it.
And should we maybe talk about what we did last Friday?
Oh yeah, I guess the pipe dream.
So we went and took a look at a couple of houses to buy.
Oh boy,
and potentially
real gems.
Clean up. And
gems
rent.
in the rough.
The first one wasn't.
These are both bank
awful.
repos. The bank owns both of these.
Okay.
Nothing on the.
I went to the wrong house. I went to the house that I liked the most, And you're like, we're at this other house. Mm-hmm. And so I had to meet you there.
Yeah. And Tim was like, should I just tell him to wait there? And I was like, nah, they're close enough.
They were super close.
Super close. And got lucky there, right? Which I don't know. I mean, I thought the thing I sent you had like this time and then this time.
I didn't look at it.
Oh, you motherfucker. It had times and everything on there. That's why I sent it to you.
That was my bad.
Anyway, it's all good. But
the first house, the stairs were fucked up.
So
going down to the basement. The basement was full of shit.
Let me pull up the Zillow listing real fast.
These houses were a mess for sure.
Both bank repos.
One more than the other.
Fucking just pieces of shit. The first one we looked at, should we say the address? No. I mean, they're on the open market.
Just say Rock Island.
Okay. In Rock Island. 2 bed, 1 bath for less than 20 grand.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
There was some work that needed to be done.
It was about what you would expect a $20,000 house to be. What was really surprising, the roof was brand new.
It had new. So you pointed out that it had new wood.
Oh yeah, the sheathing underneath the shingles was all new, fucking plywood over the entire roof. So
the front porch was about to fall down.
Yes, that was sagging bad. I mean, really, the main fucking issue with that, I would say, is the stairs, right?
Yeah,
the stairs going up were super like narrow.
Yeah, you couldn't get any furniture.
No, you'd have to have like fucking like twin size mattresses up there, and that's it. Blow up fucking furniture, and then the basement.
The stairs going down to the basement were like they had fallen.
Matt
off.
had to help me down because the step was like
held your hand. I put my shirt over a puddle of water for you.
It was like a 4-foot drop to the first step.
Yeah, I had to boost you back out. But there was like an old fridge and like
these stairs did not look safe at all. And me and Tim were like, yeah, you might want to just like kind of ease onto it. And Matt just fucking jumps on this thing.
Feet.
I thought,
dude, they were solid.
Luckily they were. And Tim was like, whoa. I was like, God damn, I thought we just lost you. But no. There was so much shit in the basement of that place too. All the woodworking tools still there. There was a bandsaw, perfectly good bandsaw. That bandsaw is worth a couple $100. There was a table saw down there.
And then the foundation didn't look bad. It was all covered. It was majorly covered up with like pegboard,
some sort of wood paneling or something,
and some insulation.
It definitely didn't.
We ripped some of that shit down.
Yeah, it was dry.
Yeah, it was dry. It didn't smell musty at all.
It was surprising, honestly, for the condition of the rest of the house.
And there was a garage on the property. Checked that out. The door was unlocked.
Yeah, there was a boat in there. No trailer.
No trailer. And then they raked the last owner before they seized the property. He raked everything out of the yard right into the garage.
Fucking sticks and everything, man. Yeah. He's like, man, this yard is clean. I bet it was like... had to have been somebody fucking like from the bank or something, like trying to sell the house. They're like, let's just throw all this shit in the fucking garage. I don't know. I wonder who did it though. Somebody did.
Somebody fucker. Obviously did.
Some fucker.
And then the second house.
Oh man.
Which was the one I was most excited to look at.
Yeah, I was too. It honestly looked the closest to being habitable.
Yeah.
How wrong could we have been?
They really doctored those pictures up.
They had to put them through the best of the best TikTok filters.
The water was still on.
Water was visually flowing into the home.
It was like squirting out of a...
It looked like the water was comes into the house or something.
Yeah.
There was like a water meter right there.
Squirting out of the pipes. Just filling... All the carpet was soggy.
Oh, dude, it was like...
Bullet hole in the window.
Bullet hole in the window. All the siding had been removed for some reason. Side. So there was like a lot of the what do you want to call those? It was just the 2x4s, whatever the structure of the house was just like exposed to the element. Yeah, the studs.
Yeah.
And just rotten away.
There were several large animal holes.
Yes, there was obviously an animal family living there.
Yes.
They were pretty comfortable. They had the whole shebang. Let me think about it. They have shelter. They have clean water. Like, how rare is that where they could just have a clean source of water all the time? Like,
that is a mansion to a raccoon.
For real,
and a
man.
possum.
I guarantee there's a family of raccoons living in there.
Oh, for sure.
They're living so fat. So fat. Yeah. You know what we should do? Go back to that house, set up some trail cameras just to see what kind of activities are going on inside that place.
And there was like an handicapped person's
Oh,
mobile scooter.
The last motion of that chair.
That person died there.
Yeah. Oh God. Ooh. God.
We got haunted when we went to that place.
That place was
and also
So
tuberculosis.
yeah. Fucking meningitis or something, man. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. That is gonna be my cause of death.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah. I'm gonna be suing. Oh yeah, that house was also like 15 grand,
which was insane.
Because that whole house needs to just be knocked down.
Yeah, it was way smaller, way more fucked up. Like whoever put that price on there was high.
You know
on
what
cocaine.
we forgot to mention? The park that was across the street from the first house.
Oh yeah, it was a park, and it had a large fence around 6 foot, 8 foot fence.
Probably an 8 foot, like chain link fence. Prison fence,
barbed wire on top,
where the angle of the barbed wire wasn't to keep intruders out of the children's park, but
which would be angled like out towards the street. It'd be angled out so you couldn't get over it.
It's angled inward so the children can't get out. It's like, what is that?
Yeah,
like that's just like you come here,
for like,
throw your kid in here. I will guarantee they will not get out.
I'll guarantee you they'll come and pick your kid up.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like troubled 5-year-olds.
I bet if you took a picture of that and like posted it on the internet, it'd fucking go viral. Fuck, it's just, I don't know. I'm fucking gonna go do some research on that park after this fucking podcast.
Yeah, it looked like a daycare or something.
Weird, really weird,
super weird.
Yeah,
but interesting.
Yeah, so the reason that we went and looked at these houses is because we're kind of looking at doing some real estate investing, huh?
Yeah.
Even though we're not really prepared.
We are not qualified at the very least.
No.
But we've gone half-cocked on plenty of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I bought my duplex half-cocked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I bought this place half-cocked.
I mean, sometimes you get burnt, right?
Oh, yeah. But you get burnt doing anything.
Right. And I mean, it's like playing poker. Sometimes, like...
Sometimes you win everybody's $30, and sometimes you don't.
You just have to fucking play the game.
Yeah.
You just like, you might not want to, but you're like, oh, fuck it. I'll match the bet just because I want to see the cards.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, oh, look at that. The cards are good. Sometimes the cards are bad. That's real estate investing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. There's like a ton of YouTube videos out there for like doing ROI analysis, IRR, cap rate.
I feel like there's YouTube video, the equal amount of YouTube videos that tell you the exact opposite information. So no matter where you look, you always get conflicting information.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then just the whole real estate fucking YouTube kind of thing.
There are 18-year-old kids talking about what you should look for. Well, did you hear that
there's like 6 of like the major YouTube influencers are getting sued because they pushed FTX?
What's FTX?
FTX was the crypto scam that just kind of washed over us a month ago. Sam Bankman-Fried.
I don't know about it.
Oh, come on, dude. Man. FTX was a crypto exchange, right?
Okay.
Where these... I've already explained this once on this podcast.
I was in flow state.
They fucking... This super smart kid, his parents were like Harvard professors or some shit, fucking creates FTX, which is like supposed to be the next big thing, gets all these celebrities to buy into it. He's really just running a Ponzi scheme where he's taking your deposits and going and just fucking investing and basically losing the money. And he was
Ponzi schemes work great if you are good at investing.
Well, if you get away with it, it's good until you don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it was just like, he was like selling these tokens. You would put your money into his fucking FTX, and then he would give you like FTX tokens. So then one major crypto guy was like that owned another large crypto exchange. Can't remember the guy's name. He basically put out a tweet saying, hey, I'm thinking about selling all of my FTX tokens because their balance sheet doesn't look good or some shit like that, essentially. Which then just started this mass sell-off.
Which is exactly what happened to fucking Silicon Valley Bank.
Right, but that's a bank, and they have like
FDIC.
More, they're right, exactly insured.
Yeah, It sucks that we didn't make $1 million on crypto, but I'm glad I didn't get in that. Glad I didn't get into this NFT game. That was a racket.
What a fucking joke that is, right?
Yeah,
it's just a money grab. That's all it is.
100%.
Anything Jake Paul or Logan Paul do, is a fucking just complete sham.
Yeah,
it's just like YouTube is so good, but it also is like so bad.
Yeah,
if you like let it run unchecked without any. If you're just not consuming other sources of information, if you allow yourself to just take in one,
it's like that celebrity scam where you have a celebrity and they endorse something. And then everybody wants to be just like them and thinks they're so smart. Either they're just a person like you and me, probably even dumber.
Tom Brady, he was one of them.
What got into that FTX?
Yeah.
And then, so you put all your money into whatever they're pushing. And I think it could be anywhere from like clothes. Like what makes Dolce & Gabbana so nice? It's because rich people want it because it's expensive.
Yep.
And so you put all your money into it. And then, I mean, ideally, they could just pull out when it's hot. And then everybody else figures it out, Yeah,
it's a fucking sham, man. Buy gold, put it under your bed.
Wouldn't melt.
That's what Alex Jones would tell you to do. Alex Jones was on Tim Dillon's podcast.
Okay,
a couple weeks ago. It was fucking hilarious. I have to listen to it.
What? Tim Dillon is funny.
Tim Dillon's fucking hilarious.
So was it funny? Were they roasting on each other?
It was just funny.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Just funny. I don't know.
Stavros Helsinki was on Joe Rogan.
Stavros. Who's this?
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
I listened to it. His podcast is called Stavi's World.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've said that to me before.
Yeah, super funny. He's a funny comedian, but he was on Joe Rogan.
No, when was that?
He was like maybe 6 to 12 guests ago.
Really? I might have missed that one then.
Yeah. And then the newest Andrew Scholes was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's 100% the guest for me.
Yeah. If you listen to enough of Joe Rogan, you fucking can basically guess what he's gonna say.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like when he finds his kids smoking cigarettes behind the tool shed, and he's gonna be like, "You can't do that." They're gonna be like, "But Dad, you do DMT all the time."
Right? No, I'm sure. I don't know. I feel like his kids are gonna be like super fucking mature for their age. Maybe
they have to be.
But I don't know.
Like, I couldn't imagine my kid seeing me at my job every single day.
Just what? I wonder if his kids listen to the podcast.
It's not. I don't think it's if they do or don't. It's that they can. If Joe dies tomorrow and his kids grow up, his kids, his kids' kids, his great grandkids will know exactly who that person is. Who Joe Rogan is.
It is kind of crazy. He's a fucking icon for some reason.
And you know what? That's why I love doing the podcast with you and Dave. This is just a way.
It's a moment in time.
Yeah.
It's recording stuff.
I like to imagine that, one day in 50 million years when the Earth is fucking covered in ash and dust from volcanoes exploding and the aliens come down to our future planet to mine for what was our civilizations now turned to oil, and they will find these recordings.
And then they will recreate us
in our image.
Yes, and we will be living in the simulation forever. Maybe we're already there
right now. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Think about that.
I gotta start finding cheat codes. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Game Shark that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Game Shark, bro. Yeah.
Doghouse.
Oh. Well, you want to call it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks to anybody that actually made it to the end of this.
Yeah, it looks long, but you won't hear all.
There's
the
plenty of substance, plenty of meat in there. No potatoes.
All meat. The carnivore diet is this podcast.
I ate a whole rack of ribs yesterday.
A whole rack?
Oh, dude. And then on my way, a whole rack. And on the way to dropping Lauren, because after I got the tow, driving Lauren to work, I just ripped one in the car, dude, and it smelled so bad. Lauren was like rolling the window down. There was like kids running down the street, and she was like, ah. It was bad. It was like, just black coffee and just rib meat.
Damn.
Not a good combination for my stomach, bro.
Just rot.
Oh, yeah. No.
Anyways, check out the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Yeah, because I'll be there. I'll be on it.
Justin promised to do some research.
Yeah. I know all about AI.
Yeah. It's a good one. Be good to yourselves.
Yes. That's most important. Peace.